Hello everyone, and greetings from Bristol in the UK. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the lives of artist books in UK libraries and collections. We're going to look at some of the ways in which national collections and educational institutions collect, work with and disseminate artist books in the UK. Most art colleges and universities that have art and design courses will have a collection of artist books in their libraries or archives. For example, you'll find artist books in Edinburgh, Winchester, Leeds, Manchester, London, Cardiff, Bristol and Dublin in Ireland. There are also national collections of artist books in the UK. The main collections are at Tate Britain, at the V&A Museum, at the National Art Library and at the British Library. So these will collect national and international examples of artist books which they find are very important. Examples, so kind of seminal works by artists, or works which show kind of amazing craft or conceptual ideas. So these are collections for the public to visit by appointment or for researchers to visit by appointment. You'll often find an event or exhibition going on at national collections in the UK. For example, the British Library runs the Artist Books Now series, which invites artists to present their works to the public in an accessible way through handling and talking about their works in an informal situation. They also hold exhibitions of artists whose work is in their collections or show examples from their collections, and the same happens at Tate Britain, for example, where they'll regularly have displays, and you can also book in to visit and handle artist books in their collections for workshops. Many curators and librarians will visit artist book fairs. They'll mark the date in the calendar. They can find out through the Book Arts newsletter or online or through Arlis. There are fairs all over Europe which will have hundreds of examples of artist books. You can talk to the artists, you can find out about their work, think about things that you want for your collection. It's a brilliant place to experience artist books, find out more about them and add to your own collection. Apart from buying artist books directly from the artists at fairs and events, most collections, including university libraries, will buy artist books from websites, directly from the artist websites or from places like Tim Glassett, who represent and publish books by artists and writers, or from specialist artist bookstores such as Book Up Bookshop in London, Bookie Wookie in Amsterdam and Blader in Copenhagen. So they're quite used to people emailing or phoning up with a budget and discussing the types of works they might like to purchase. At Bowyer Ashton Library at UW Bristol, we have regular exhibitions of artist books that I organise in tandem with the library staff. So these might be displays of artist books that are from either of our collections, or more usually they are national or international artists who will either bring their books and install them themselves, or they'll send a selection of things for us to display. So these exhibitions are on from anything from 4 weeks to 8 weeks. We have the two main cabinets that you can see here, and also what we call the sideshow cabinets. And these exhibitions are open to the public Monday to Friday, 9 till 5, and they're also obviously open to students who come and use them regularly for their studies. I'm going to show you a couple of examples of how artists' books are displayed in libraries and how artists engage with books in libraries. So this is an exhibition by Teresa Easton, British artist, which was on display in and commissioned for the exhibition Queer Between the Covers. So this was an exhibition held at Senate House Library in London, where there was a display of artist books responding to the collection of books already in the library. So Teresa was commissioned to come in and work with existing material and then make works in response to that material for the display. And here's a lovely example of a walk around a book, which is in the Latrobe Reading Room at State Library Victoria in Melbourne by the artists Gracia Harby and Louise Jennison. The idea is that each cabinet houses a book and some of the objects from the book, so it's a kind of 2D, 3D display. The idea is that you travel around the 5 cases and the public can then take a free copy of their collaborative zine as they exit. This is a really nice example of how an artist works within the library, both exhibiting their work and putting on another exhibition in response to the collection. So this was an exhibition by the artist Julie Johnson, which took place in June this year. She had a solo exhibition of her new works, which were responding to artworks by Agnes Martin, which she came to install in the two larger cases. And while she was here, she had a look through, so you can see those filing cabinets in the top right hand corner. So that's where all our artist books are held. They're open access for people to come in and have a look through and browse through. So Julie browsed through the books and made a beautiful selection of artist books on the theme of space, line and colour, which was an exhibition that we then displayed alongside her work. Barashton Library also has a student artist residency programme. So this runs each year with the students applying in December to do a residency in the spring. It's included residencies during lockdown, using the online catalogue and doing an online exhibition, to physical responses to books on the shelves, or to notes left by students in books collected by library staff. So these are Ben Jenner, Kathy Webb, Angie Butler and Zelda Velika's residencies. We've got a current one this year with 2 artists in residence in the library who will be producing work to display from September. Students get an allowance to spend in the art shop to produce their editions, and we ask if they do make more than one of anything, they leave one for the library as a memento of their residency. I set up the Artist Book Partnership Exhibition programme to allow some of the artist books that I have in my archive to actually leave the building sometimes. Small or large selections of books have been off around the world over the last 14 years or so. These are primarily for people who want to put on an exhibition or run a workshop or talk to people about artist books and let them know what they are, but they might not have examples to hand themselves. We quite often lend them out for people who are doing workshops for social or community workshops. So examples that people can handle and look at the different ways in which books are made. So the artist books go out on a no-fee basis and can be borrowed. There's a list on the website that people can download and choose the books that they want. We've also found it's a really nice thing to do if artists are coming to install works. They're quite often willing to do a talk, even that's just half an hour talk to the public and students. Angie Butler, who works with me here at CFPR, has started interviewing artists as they were installing their works for printing conversations. So the idea is that you can come and listen to the talk and handle some of the books, or you can listen to an audio recording of the talks afterwards. In collaboration with artists and publishers in the Nordic and Scandinavian regions, we ran the Scandinavian Artist Books Partnership Project from February 21 to December 22. This was to bring a more attention to artist books in the region and to help share some ideas between artists, publishers, librarians and curators in the UK with the Nordic regions. We ran a series of workshops, online discussions, and we also invited people to come to Babe in Bristol and also attend an ARLIS librarians workshop after the Babe event. You can find out a lot more about the project and watch video recordings of some of the presentations on our website. I hope this has given you a small taste of the kinds of collaborations or ways that artists and librarians work with artist books in the UK. If you have any questions about anything that you've seen or that I've mentioned, then please do feel free to get in touch. If you want to find out more about artist books events and what's going on in the world, then please do look at the Book Arts newsletter, which you can download from the Book Arts website. You can also join the mailing list, and we will be publishing a new edition of the Artist Book Yearbook in January 2024. So if you'd like your library to be listed in that or to find out more about it, then please do get in touch with me. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.